points ya. Jadi begitulah caranya dalam menyusun events-event ya, chronological order in the right way. Okay, do you have any question? Yeah, we need to understand the meaning first. Yeah. Yeah, maybe take times, but as long as you practice more, you can be used to and can find your own way to answer quickly. Okay, and then let we try to answer exercise 1 on page 8.3. Okay, can you find the text in exercise 1? Yeah. Okay, let me read first. Read this article from the internet and complete the table that follows. Subject to debate by Kata Polit. Anti-choice, anti-child. One of the favorite tactics of pro-lifers, especially ones who are self-described progressives, is to accuse abortion rights supporters of being anti-child, hyper-individualistic, unwilling to protect the vulnerable, and generally in favor of death. The truth is almost the opposite. Around the world, there's a general correlation between the availability of abortion and social concern for the well-being of children, as an upcoming publication from the Center for Reproductive Law on Policy vividly suggests. The 50 nations that permit abortion regardless of a woman's reason for wanting one include countries with the world's most extensive social provisions for children: Norway, Denmark, Sweden, the Netherlands, Canada. The anti-choice camp is full of countries with astronomical infant mortality rates, no free schooling and no commitment to poor kids. Cuba, the only country in Latin America that permits abortion without restriction, has a universal free health care and education and the lowest infant mortality rates in that region. In anti-choice, Egypt, Haiti, Guatemala, Indonesia too, Paraguay and Brazil, children live on the street. In Europe, Poland restricts abortion while simultaneously embracing free market policies that consign ever more children to poverty. Ireland, which bars abortion except to save the mother's life, included in its constitution the command that women serve the state from within the home, but didn't institute free secondary schooling until 1967. As for that, the list of anti-choice nations dovetails nicely with the list of countries with capital punishment. Unfortunately, few Americans know or care what goes on outside God's own country, so the fact that the Republican platform calls for replicating the abortion laws of such child-friendly nations as Afghanistan and El Salvador gets little attention. But Martija, please continue paragraph 2.
Gimana ya? Sorry.
On page 8.4, Mbak.
Oh, beginning from now?
No, from paragraph 2. Paragraph 4. Excuse me. Paragraph 4. Now comes Jan Ruth Scrodel.
Now comes Jan Ruth Scrodel, Associate Professor of Political Science at Claremont Graduate University, whose findings test whether opposition to abortion in the United States is motivated by concern for children or by a desire to restrict and control women. In her fourth book, Is the Fetus as Person, a comparison of policies in the 50 states, Scudder sets out three criteria. If states that restrict abortion care about protecting children, born and unborn, she theorized one would expect them to treat the fetus as a person. In other areas of the law, to be more likely than pro-choice states to adopt policies to combat prenatal drug use and third-party killing, psycho violence by someone other than the woman that result in fetal death, and to support wide-ranging benefits for children. If, on the other hand, their stance relates to antipathy toward women's equality, one would expect to find that anti-abortion states do not consistently treat the fetus as a person in other areas of the law, that women's political, social, and economic status there is lower than in pro-choice states, and that they are not more likely to have policies benefiting children.
Oke, continue Mbak Rianti. Thank you Mbak Martija.
Yes, Miss. Okay. Ngantuk ya, Miss.
Data Scudder writers showed that anti-abortion states do not consistently follow fetal life supply. They are far more concerned with drug use by pregnant women than with the bettering and killing of pregnant. Apa sih ini Miss pregnant ya Miss?
Pregnant.
Hamil.
Yes.
Pregnant.
Woman.
The pregnant woman. The men women harm
Fetuses.
Fetuses.
Yes.
Scholars find that even states with big pro-choice policies are more likely to criminalize third party fetal killing than states with either weak or strong anti-choice policies. In six of the most stringent anti-choice states, it is not even a crime for a third party to kill a fetus, but drug users can be prosecuted for murder if the pregnancy goes away.
Okay, the rest one I will read for you. Is there a relationship between the abortion laws of given state and the status of its woman? The evidence was quite clear-cut. Scudder writes, the lower woman's status as measured by education level, ratio of female to male earnings, percentage of women in poverty, percentage of female legislators, and state mandates that insurers cover minimum hospital stays after childbirth. The more stringent the abortion laws. This follows the global pattern, as in Iran, no abortion even to save the mother's life. So in Louisiana, the state with the most restriction, 23. What about kids? Despite much anti-choice rhetoric about the need to protect the weakest and most vulnerable, Scudder found that anti-choice states are far less likely than pro-choice states to provide support for the poorest and most needy children. They spend less money per child on a range of services, from the adoption of special needs children to foster care to welfare to education. This follows the oft-noted pattern in Congress, where pro-choice legislators tend to support measures benefiting children, and anti-choice legislators tend to support tax cuts for rich people. Scrutow's findings also support the pro-choice quip that anti-choicers' concern for children begins with conception and ends with birth, as well as the pro-choice contention that retrograde views of women, for example, that only mothers are responsible for children, shape the anti-choicers seek to protect the fetus. While Scruder is careful not to deny the sincerity of pro-life lawmakers, I'm more clinical. Too many anti-choice politicians were pro-choice before the Christian right got going. She finds virtually no support for the anti-abortion claim that opposition to abortion is all about caring for kids. Empirical research is a wonderful thing. Okay, what is the text? What is the text talking about? Mbak Rianti, about abortion law in some countries, right?
Yeah.
There are two kind of people here: the pro-lifers and pro-choice and anti-choice, right? Pro-choice is belong to agree with what? Pro-choice. Who is pro-choice or pro-lifers? Mbak Rianti, Mbak Martija, Mbak Kristina.
Gimana sih?
Siapa ini pro-choice, pro-lifers ini?
Teksnya complicated. Panjang.
Iya, jadi
terus
nggak
ini
secepat
apa
itu,
bahasanya.
Miss, harus di endingnya.
Oh really? Can you see in the? Okay, I will be slower than before. Okay, kita di sini ada ini berbicara tentang abortion law, hukum aborsi, undang-undang aborsi yang mau dimasukkan ke dalam policy kebijakan. Nah, ada dua jenis yang orang opinion ya. Yang satu pro, yang satu anti.
Penulis.
Ada yang pro sama undang-undang ini, namanya pro-lifers. Dua jenis kelompok ya saya bilang. Two kind of members here, pro-lifers. Yes, yang satu pro-lifers, yang kedua anti-choice. Yang tidak.
Anti-choice.
Nah, siapa ini pro-lifers? Siapa ini pro-choice? Orang-orang yang mendukung
yang anti-choice itu yang Indonesia termasuk.
ya.
Egypt, Haiti, Guatemala, Indonesia, Brazil.
No, I mean who is pro-life? Salah satu yang mendukung pro-choice. Salah satu yang mendukung undang-undang aborsi yang menganggap fetus itu sebagai manusia, as a person, fetus as a person. Who is anti-choice? Easy.
Egypt, Haiti.
They are against
Egypt.
abortion law, right? To be official. Ya, untuk disahkan, to be legal in the policy. Okay? And then so let we try to answer the following table below the text. There are table for who, column for who, second column for where, and third column for what. So first we find who is involved in this text. Who are involved in this text?